Hello everyone and welcome to Sondra's Crafting Corner. If you would, please subscribe to my channel and ring that bell. Also like, comment, and share. This video is part of the Inspired Fall or Halloween DIY Challenge hosted by Yelena Jenkins from Yelena Jenkins DIY and her co-host for this month, Linda from Faith Chick 777's DIY by Design. I will have their channels linked in the description box below, as well as the playlist for this challenge. Let's get started with DIY number 1. This DIY was inspired by Natalie from Design to the Nines, where she took this board and used a special pen to burn it. Only I got my design straight from Cricut Design Space. The items you'll need are a scrap piece of plywood with these dimensions, any kind of measuring tape, all these paint colors or something similar, some ribbon of your choice, this wood burning pin listed in the description box below, a glue gun and glue sticks, some 10 gauge copper wire, a heat gun, a Cricut or Silhouette and vinyl in the color of your choice, and a drill. After I cut my board, I found this cute little image on Design Space. All I did was change it to the right size. Then I took this wood burning pen and went around the whole image and on the inside lines to make this cute little sign. After lining it up as straight as I could, I burnished it down very carefully so that way I would limit the bleed through. After that, I carefully removed the transfer tape. Now I'm just going to fill in the words, go around the lines, and go around all the images with this wood burning pen. The pen will leave a yellow color so you can see where you have filled in and where you haven't. Once you're completely finished, it's time to remove all of the decal. As you can see, the letters bled a little bit, but that was because right at the very beginning, the pen is very juicy, but then it will mellow out as it goes along. And now for the fun part, taking your heat tool and putting it on low at first, and then move it around and around so you don't get hot spots. The longer you keep it in one place, the darker the color will get, but just like wood, when you get it hot, it will burn if you're not careful. You can leave it just like this, but I decided to paint mine. Starting with the color Pumpkin by Waverly, I'm going to color the pumpkin. I then mixed some white with the pumpkin to get a skin tone color. I will use that to paint his hands and his nose. Next, I will take this moss color and color in his shirt and maybe one or two of the leaves. Using this blue Sharpie paint pen, I'm going to color in his hat. Now, using this white chalk paint, I'm going to color in his beard. Using a gray acrylic paint, I'm going to color in a few of the lines of his beard. Using Waverly Wax in Antique, I'm going to color the stem of the pumpkin. Using this dark red color, I'm going to color in a couple of the leaves. I'm going to do the same thing with the pumpkin and the moss color as well. Afterwards, I'm going to drill 2 holes at the top of the sign. Taking a good size length of the 10 gauge wire, I'm going to make a hanger for the sign. I'm just going to push it through the holes from the back and then twist them around in the front. Taking my 2.5-inch ribbon, I'm going to measure an 18-inch piece, a 14-inch piece, and a 10-inch piece to make my bow. Now using my hot glue gun, I'm going to make 3 individual loops. Now I'm going to evenly space my ribbons and then hot glue them together as well. Now I will take a small piece of ribbon and tri-fold it to wrap around the middle of my bow. I went ahead and glued it on the back, but I realized afterwards that I should have waited so I could put it on the sign first. So now I have to rip off the loop and make a new one, so that way I can put it on the sign and then hot glue it. And this is where my camera cuts off. Luckily I caught it. All I did was hot glue the loop on the back of the sign and it was done. On to DIY number 2. This inspiration came from an Etsy store that I saw online. The items you'll need for this DIY are all these paint colors or something similar, 2 of these pumpkins from the Dollar Tree, some ribbon of your choice, a cricket or silhouette and vinyl in the color of your choice, and 1 long wooden dowel from the Dollar Tree. The first thing I did with these Dollar Tree pumpkins was try to remove the UPC coat off the back, so I had to use my heat tool. After that, it was still sticky, so I had to use sandpaper to sand off the stickiness, but I also sanded off all the glitter as well. For my first apple, I used lacquer from Waverly. I only painted the front and the sides, but you could paint the back as well if you like. For my second apple, I used the spring green from Apple Barrel. I painted just the front and the sides of this one as well. Using classic caramel from Apple Barrel, I'm going to make, well, the caramel on the bottom, of course. I painted half the front and half the sides as well. I do the same thing on the green apple. If you also use this paint, you will need to paint a few coats. I printed out 2 of these decals with the cream candy font. I placed 1 decal on each apple. Using my cute little tabletop saw, I went ahead and sawed the dowel in half. If you'd like to get one of these for yourself, I will have the link for it in the description box below. I just sanded off the rough edges. I filled up the hole with glue because the diameter of the dowel is slightly smaller than the hole left by the stem of the pumpkin, but that doesn't matter because I will be covering it up with ribbon. Speaking of, I'm going to take my ribbon and tie it into a cute little shoelace bow. Once I get it how I like it, I will trim off the excess. And now both my DIYs are done. And here they are. If you do any of these DIYs, I highly advise that you clear coat both of your DIYs when you're finished. Let me know what you guys think of them in the comments below. I love hearing from you guys. Don't forget to check the description for Yelena and Linda's pages down below, as well as the playlist for this challenge. Let me know what you think in the comments below, or simply just like it, or share it with your friends. And if you haven't already, please subscribe and ring that bell so you can be notified of future videos. And as always, thank you and take care.